So, I heard a random rumor that you all like Devil May Cry. And that I have a website, although I wouldn't believe that last rumor. Where am I? Tell you what, Act. If you want to do that, you're more than welcome to. And I will gladly add it to the thing. Like, add to the description, but... yeah! Okay, so... what do we got here? The amount of time the highlight reels take is already not exactly small. The idea of adding timestamps is insane. Now, you're probably thinking, but Laura, I've seen a couple of your highlights with timestamps. Yeah, those were made by someone other than me. Not just the highlights, but actually the timestamps were made by someone other than me. There we go, there we go. Gotta get all those blood orbs. Oh, these are delicious. Actually, that was random. Although I believe Mr. Red worked on some of those as well. Okay. Looks like the surface is rippling like water. No. Oh, Jesus. Frickin' bats. Does anybody actually like bats? Don't answer that. I have actually been curious if I would run into any secret missions, you know, just normally. We did run into one. Just through normal play. What are you talking about, Act? Please be fully communicative, because I don't know what you're talking about. Ah, that's a good question, Dakota. Honestly, in this game specifically, I would say the secret missions are probably a wash. But that's in the highlight reel, Act. I bothered to clip the guy vomiting on him, and then I cut to, and that's why I don't like parties. There's no information missing. Yeah, I was wondering about that, actually, Valvatrix. But I'm not going to give the full reason why in the highlight reel. That's what the VOD is for. If they have a problem with getting part of the information in a highlight reel, then I'm afraid we just have a failure to communicate. I have no problems with not having everything be in the highlight reel. Like, the only thing that needed to be in the highlight reel was guy vomiting, and that's why I don't like parties. To be perfectly blunt, it's a good summary of everything I said during the party sequence. Excuse me, guy vomiting on someone else. Be more clear. See what's shooting me. And we're dead. It was that guy. That's interesting. At what point did I stop using fear? 7 years ago? 6 years ago? Something like that. It's been an extraordinarily long period of time. As for why I stopped using fear, well, there's 2 reasons. Reason number 1, it hurt my throat. But honestly, I would have kept doing it if there was a reason to keep doing it, which there wasn't. Why am I... What are you tracking to? Okay, so sorry. Apparently 4 years ago then. But the throat has nothing to do with anything. The real reason I stopped doing it is because there's no reason to do it. Doing tradition for tradition's sake is something I'm actually very against. And fear was something that was tradition for tradition's sake. It had nothing to do with anything. It was some random stupid meme that had no logic or reasoning behind it. So as with all traditions, it needed to be questioned. It was found lacking, and so it was ejected. Now, if I don't know, battle, for example, then that has a point and purpose. There's a reason behind doing that other than just being like, hey, this is something I do because I've done it. As I've said many, many times, artifact design can go straight to hell, and I really wish we'd stop doing the Dutch angles. Oh god, it's a T-Rex. It's okay, it's okay. It's just a T-Rex. Oh my god, a strange power is confronting me. I've got to find a way to defeat the dragon. With a rocket launcher. Yeah, I know, thank you. Well, I've been doing too much drugs today. My bad. Remember, never give in to darkness. That's a joke nobody's gonna get. The best kind of jokes. Congratulations, Flag Ant. Now you get the dubious joy of explaining it to everybody else. Oh, for Christ's sakes. Let's see if we can do that with our paunch. Nope, nope, you gotta explain it, Flag Ant. It's okay. I'll wait. Where is my... there. Hey, look, it's the junk. That's right, we need to have drugs and a suicide. Glug, glug, stab. That's actually the name of my stream. And my cover band. Listen, no Muggles would ever dare drink all my wine. Unless they knew it was good for them. Oh. Let's get our rifles. There we go. Yeah, I got it on Amazon, Ect. It was 40 bucks. I thought I said that. So, this is me attacking, this is me hitting L3, and this is me attacking. They probably changed it for this release. I don't know what button's it on. It's definitely not on that. Oh, no, actually, hang on, that is it. They moved it to R3. I should have guessed that earlier. Whatever. What am I doing? Platforming! You like platforming, right? Because this game loves platforming. Okay, let's... Eagles. Quicksilver. Nice. Glug, glug, glug. There we go. Now we've got drugs and suicide in one button. I mean, they totally would play it all. Get out of place there. Which DMC has the best enemy designs? Ask me again when I finish reviewing them all. It's probably 5. Because 5 is probably the best about literally everything. Seriously, I expect 5 to be 200 plus at the least. Yeah, but they're actually good, Valvedrix. Yeah, I said it. I mean, that's like saying half of Mario Bros. 3 enemies are from Mario Bros. 1, which actually isn't true, but... Point being, one of those games obviously did a good job with their enemy design, and one of them did not. Hell, I'm probably not even going to give this game an enemy variety positive. I haven't decided yet. Camera is super fixed. Will be for a while. So you like big epic battles, right?
A man with guts and honor. I like that. But it's a shame you serve Mundus.
Virgin, Dante, happy birthday.
Wow! I want chocolate! No, I want chocolate!
Credit where credit is due.
Virgil has been defeated. You know what you must do. Now go.
Yes, Master.
In a game as ridiculous and honestly kind of bad on the story axis as this one, that's a surprisingly well-handled scene. Thank you, Rex. As always. I suppose you know the question, and that question's answer is, I had a dream last night, no joke, about Kingdom Hearts 3 with full campaign co-op. I could actually elucidate, but I'm not going to, because I'm just going to say, once again, Kingdom Hearts 3 full campaign co-op, and I think that says everything it needs to. I think they're already on the list, but no, I didn't veto them either way. Oh no, it'll happen once I take over the world, obviously, Trax, yeah. But, you know, dreams. No, 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 don't worry, we're not playing DMC, Jaded Font. Don't worry. We will literally never play that game. Like, some games, there's at least a possibility someday for us to play. But there is no point or purpose behind playing DMC. So we never will. Okay. D-Rank, you suck! Yeah, the Angelo fights are probably the best fights in 1. Hope you enjoyed that, because the quality of the fights by memory is about to go down. And the levels. I mean, the level design has actually been going down since the first stage. I'm sure you've noticed that. Which makes sense, since the first stage was built by the Resident Evil, to be a Resident Evil game, excuse me, and had power and money and backing and all that. And the later stages were not, and did not. Yeah, we gotta fight Nightmare again. Because of course we do. We have to cast it into the fire. Hey, it's the ugliest sword in the franchise. I'm sorry, I hate that thing. I mean, it's fun to play with. It's ugly as sin. Oh, we can't do things like that, though. God, there you go, like that. Of course. I call this a beat 'em up. And no matter how many times people disagree with me that, I'm going to keep calling this a beat 'em up. But some people call them spectacle fighters, but the actual official genre is hack and slash. Which I will never, ever actually agree with. I love that little bit of, like, distending at the very bottom of the screen there. Delicious orbs. Well, we came up with a game yesterday that I'd call hack and slash, and damned if I can't even remember what it was right now. There was one that we came up with, I don't remember what it was. Oh, I hate character action. If you look up the genre of hack and slash, you will see such a wide variety of games that have nothing to do with each other. I know that I tend to make my own terminology and stick with it. But part of the reason I do that is because I tend to disagree with official terminology. Hack and slash is a good example of that. At least an RPG has many, many, many different types of subgenres, which help to define the different types of turn-based RPG, or action RPG, or strategy RPG, or grid-based RPG, or whatever. There's all sorts of things like that. But hack and slash is just the most generic, non-descriptive genre that exists. Including many, many, many games that have nothing to do with each other in style or design or approach or anything. By contrast, as I have shown and is going to be in the highlight reel, I have done my due diligence in proving that this is actually a beat-em-up. What I just did is endemic of being a beat-em-up, for God's sakes. Go, go, go. Unfortunately, I don't know Star Control 2 well enough to reference it, so I'm afraid not. I failed you, Lunaruth. Of course, that's what happened. Why wouldn't we be underwater now? Built too slow. Try it again. That's funny, Lunaruth. No, I was referencing beat-em-ups, which usually have a nice big arrow or finger or something, which points to the side saying, go, when you've finished all the enemies in a particular area. Well, I have the Philosopher's Egg. Yeah, Streets of Rage, Final Fight, Double Dragon, River City, etc. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Whoa there! That's extremely not what I wanted to do. Well, I don't have air hike, despite having all the other abilities. That's interesting. Oh, back up. I'm sorry. Lunarith asked questions. Hang on, I gotta do this. Give me a second. Question from Lunarith. No, I actually do not have a question from you, Lunarith, which means you probably asked it while I was doing paperwork. And, I didn't have the question brought up yet. So did I cover Diablo Immortal? No, I haven't actually done a full expose on it. Mostly because other people have already done full in-depth exposés on Diablo Immortal. I'm trying to think how to explain that a little bit. Diablo Immortal is wonderfully, beautifully crafted. It's one of the most evil games I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not saying that hyperbolically. It is legitimately one of the most evil games I have ever seen. It is actually the worst example of mobage that exists, I think. Because whatever you're thinking, whatever layers or styles or examples of microtransactions or manipulative practices or predatory practices or anything like that, they're all in Diablo Immortal, and they are refined. They are improved upon. I say this without a speck of hyperbole. What they have done is insane. But anyway, so yes, I have the Diablo lore run, and we will be doing a Diablo review later. So you say it has lore relevant to the Diablo series. I'm not sure I actually agree with that. But, however, I'm going to say this. I'm going to make it a point and purpose to ignore Diablo Immortal and its references to the lore forever. I will go out of my way to pretend that Diablo Immortal and its inclusions into the story do not exist. And I will do that out of nothing more than vindictive, violent hatred. And I admit that very freely and very openly. Screw that game and everything about it. Do I have any hope for Diablo 4? So you may have heard of this concept called an NDA. That's my answer to you, Act. That's nice, Lunaruth. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No. I tolerate a lot of garbage. A lot of garbage in my life. Especially when it comes to video games. I do have to draw the line somewhere. Okay, so I think I just did this too slow. You know, I'm gonna switch guns here because that's just irritating. Blowing me down. I got some. Meh. I forgot the trick. There's a way to do this over and over and over and just chain it. I actually did it for a second there without meaning to. Which I'd love to take credit for, but I can't because, as I just mentioned, not meaning to. Okay, Morning, Chatterbox. Yeah, sorry. I've actually been a basketball player this whole time. How do you think I continue to afford a one-bedroom apartment in this economy? Without wearing a bikini, obviously. I'm telling you, Lineruth, just don't actually do it. Don't actually do that. I mean, yeah, absolutely, Lunaruth, but I feel like I already answered this, so I'm going to repeat myself to make this very, very clear. I tolerate a lot of garbage in my life and in my in my gaming career, as a reviewer or a journalist or whatever the hell you want to call me, and I do have to draw the line somewhere. I could bring up chocolate and hills if you want. Give that whole speech again. I've only given that like 30 times in my life. Do I want to know what gamer goo is? I don't think I do. I don't understand the question, Act. What do you mean by gaming the system? Diablo Immortal's evil, Lunaruth. I don't know how else to say that. It's the most evil game I have ever seen in my life. It is so evil, so messed up, so manipulative, so psychologically, deceptively, duplicatively lying, just subtle garbage. The actual worst part about Diablo Immortal, most MOBA games suck. Diablo Immortal isn't a sucky game. That's actually part of why it's so insidious. Part of why it's so evil. They've actually bothered to try and make a game there to even add another further layer of getting you involved, in addition to all the other garbage they're doing. They hired psychologists. There are... I could actually do a class. Literally sit down and use Diablo Immortal as a textbook in order to explain how to manipulate people. I'm not making any of this up. So no, no. 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 I'm not buying oil from Russia. I'm not playing Diablo Immortal. Any questions? I'm just gonna Google this. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, it's a line, Lunaruth. Like I said, it's a line of tolerance. I can only tolerate so much. I feel like I just said that. I can only put up with so much. Okay, this isn't what I wanted. Hang on. This is also not what I wanted. Give me a second. There we go. All right. Yeah, it's actually worse than FF15 A New Empire. And FF15 A New Empire at least was just cheap and crap. FF15 A New Empire was a frickin' reskin, which I spit venom at for many reasons. Mission are we on? Like, imagine putting effort into being horrible and evil. 18, that's what we're in. Okay, I got the Philosopher's Egg. But no, to clarify one last time, Leonard, or try to. I'm not trying to say that the game is torturous to play. It's actually quite easy to play. It's part of the problem. It's a purely moral stance. I don't actually make a lot of moral stances in gaming because, I feel like this is the fourth time I've said this now, I tolerate a lot. You know, I continue to play Blizzard games. I continue to play Ubisoft games. I could keep going. You know, I play 2K games. I play Atlas games. I still play Sega stuff, you know. Although I think that's not a thing anymore. Okay. Yeah, we don't ban games based on companies being horrible. So, okay. Okay, so I was going the right way, apparently. Ironically, Linerith, the answer to that is no. Any more than there's something wrong with you if you enjoy eating chocolate. Like I said, hills and chocolate. Hills and chocolate. Okay, so I was in the right spot. Well, that's irritating, because the solution here was to look at the sconce. I had to look up a walkthrough to know that I can interact with this stupid fire. Anyway, so speaking of Nightmare... So you're probably wondering why I'm using this sword, even though I'm not a huge fan of it. Did you see the damage I just did in one round? Where am I? There I am. I think? I lost myself in there. Cameras, how do they work? Oh. Yeah, the important... Okay. Why not? Let's give the hills and chocolate argument. I'm going to give you a very truncated version of it because I've said it so many different times. The reason I call it hills and chocolate is because it's like this. Morally speaking, we all have our hills, right? Maybe you care about animals and proper treatment of animals. Maybe you care about not buying things from a certain country. Maybe you care about not having abusive worker practices. Maybe you care about making sure that it's supporting certain types of workers. These are all your hills, right? These are all the hills you can stand on and fight on. Nobody can stand on all the hills. It doesn't work that way. Society, life, existence, we are too interconnected and too intermingled to functionally stand on every hill simultaneously. So, you pick your hills. That's kind of it. That's kind of the summary, but what that actually involves and means is, for example, Luneruth does not have the right to be upset at me for standing on the hills I stand on. And I do not have the right to be upset at Luneruth for standing on the hills she stands on, and the inverse of that, too. If there's something Luneruth cares about that is a hill for her that I don't stand upon, she can't judge me for that because I can't stand on every hill, and vice versa. I cannot judge Luneruth, to use a specific example, for not standing on the hill of not supporting Diablo Immortal. That's the biggest takeaway from the hills argument, because we're all culpable, to some extent and to some degree or another. So we pick our hills, and we're good. Let me make this point very, very clear. Like, we pick our hills, then... Yeah. I am super not playing this mega dark game with muddy textures with those sunglasses on. Sorry. Oh no, they absolutely do, Pillars of Snow. That's why that speech exists. Oh, and if you're wondering why chocolate is mentioned in there, Nestle, who has gone before, I forget if it was the House of Representatives or the Senate, but they've gone before Congress and admitted in a public forum, in a legal setting, that they cannot maintain their logistical chain without relying on child labor, and something that is either slavery or one step away from slavery, depending on how you define it. That's Nestle. So if you like Nestle chocolate or anything else, well... $19 minutes to figure out I can interact with the damn sconce. Jesus. No, I got the impression that I was failing to communicate, Linareth. Which is probably true. Secretly, English is actually my 15th language. That's why I'm so terrible at it. Alright, this should be fun. I mean, in fairness, Nestle is the low-hanging fruit when it comes to evil companies, because they might actually be the most evil company in the world. I'm not sure about that absolutely, of course, because inches amongst miles. But Nestle is really evil. Anybody who lives in California could probably talk about that. Just to name one of the many things they do. And that's why you come to my Devil May Cry streams, to talk about Nestle. Down we go. Speaking of which, Star Trek Online started the winter thing. I'm actually not doing it. It's one of the first times I haven't done the winter event in quite a while. Well, the thing is, I don't have time. The Winter Wonderland events are kind of irritating to do, and I don't have time to be doing a daily in my life right now. Especially for a ship that's basically going to help me make a mage ship, and I've already kind of decided I'm not going to make a mage ship, so... So you may be wondering why they're doing so much reuse of these areas, as we're going back through the castle for the second time at this point. So you remember what I mentioned about not having a huge budget, not having a lot of support? This is the reason I'm even bringing this up at all, is because Taquita mentioned something earlier about how later Devil May Cry games start doing things because Devil May Cry 1 did it. Whether that's good or bad, it's more debatable, and we'll get there when we get there. But the reason for this kind of backtrackiness, if you can even call it that, is literally they needed to reuse the assets. If you're paying attention, this is actually not the same room as before, in addition to the fact that it obviously functions differently. There are a few bits about it which is different. This is a separate cell, to put it as bluntly as possible. But it's a lot cheaper and a lot quicker to effectively grab all of the assets, geometry, interactions, you know, artworks, textures, etc., of the first room that you already made, paste it over here, and then make a few changes to it, then to make a completely new room. Come on, there we go. Yes, this game is featuring Dante from Devil May Cry series. Don't know if you ever heard about it. Alright, down we go. Mine didn't either, Yura. Sorry, mine. It was the copy my friend was playing. Did I? I must have missed something. Hang on. Oh, we'll talk about Diesel. I mean, there's not much to talk about Diesel, but there is something to talk about Diesel. Okay, hang on. So maybe I am supposed to go this way. Yeah, the second game's a trip. But as I'm just going to stop talking about the second game. I'm just going to veto that in my mind. At least until later today. There we go. Yeah, they really do have a thing with blood. Whee! So... we're getting more and more into the... It's the gate to the underworld. Exciting! I need the key, the Philosopher's Stone. Yeah, clearly they'd played Soten and said, that's a good idea. You'll notice that even though they've flipped it upside down, this is still the asset reuse. It's just being a little clever about it. Really wish we didn't have that you're in the dream realm graphic effect, though. It's a little nauseating. I mean, who doesn't, Yura? I thought I had to do something with this thing, but it's not letting me. Oh, there we go. Yeah, ironically, thank God the blur isn't working, otherwise I'd have to give this game another negative. I don't think it needs more negatives. Yeah, for some reason they put Dante in PlayStation All-Stars instead of Dante. I have no idea why. Seriously, I actually have no idea why they went that route with it. I'm sure at least someone mained Dante in that. Probably not, Django. We already had one of those. We can't push our luck with it. I'm ready to escape the island. That's not working. There's blood over here. Why is there blood on the plane? There's like no blood anywhere in this entire game. In terms of like on the ground. There's just blood on the biplane. I know, it's just bad paint. But I mean, isn't that just what blood is anyways? I mean, I just kind of wish we had more flight sims in general, since that's effectively a dead genre right now. Right up there with RTSs. Where's my modern TIE fighter, damn it? I mean, I want other fighter games too, but damn it, where's my modern TIE fighter? You mean X-Wing? No, I don't. Alright. Back to Google. Let's just speed this up. Where are we going? Where are we going? Yeah, seriously, can we have a new modern freelancer game? Because that would be really cool. And yeah, I don't even want to hear about Star Citizen. I know you like it, Kay. No judgment. But I'm judging you horribly for liking a terrible game. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I don't even know what I'd call Star Citizen other than a scam, obviously. Or maybe a scam is unkind, because actually I've seen several things that indicate that Star Citizen isn't a scam. As in, they're not deliberately bilking people for their money. What they are doing, however, is they're a black hole game. And that's actually a real concept. I didn't come up with that term. Black hole games are exactly what they sound like. They're games that just suck in time and money and resources and developers and don't go anywhere. Sometimes black hole games never come out. They just eat up a tremendous amount of resources and eventually either peter out or someone pulls the plug. Okay, hey, Uthor. Diablo Immortal. Excuse me. Okay, looks like we're gonna have to go out the slow way. That irritates the crap out of me. Uthor just showed up. I'm making a joke, Linnea. I invented it. It's this brand new concept. It's called a joke. I hear it's gonna be all the rage. It'll start wars. Actually, has that ever happened? Has there ever been a war that started because of a joke? I feel like that should have happened at some point historically, but I don't know of anything like that off the top of my head. love platforming in this game, really. So if you remember, I went in here and I was like, oh, the door's not there. And I was like, oh, okay, well, clearly that means there's no door over here. Oh, okay, no, there is no door over here. What? We'll review Star Wars Squadrons someday, but that's not TIE Fighter. That's not even Wing Commander. It's its own thing. It's a MOBA. Thank you, Catabo. I will jot that down for the Crisis Core reunion. Sorry, I said that wrong. Okay, so hang on. Went in here. And we tried to interact with the mirror last time. What? Note to self, check the VOD if we actually... Here, let me put a timestamp. Note to self, when you're editing this lore, check the VOD to see if you actually interact with the mirror like you thought you did. Because I'm pretty sure I actually freaking interacted with the mirror, but whatever. Yes, I have. And I hope they both... No, I edit highlight reels and everything. So how you liking that filter? That's just great. I'm gonna look away from the screen for a second here. Where? Oh, it's right there. So here's the Nightmare Gun, which is the Nightmare Gun. Show it off briefly and then never use it again. There you go, there's the Nightmare Gun. Yep, so, anyways, back to the real gun. So I'm actually reading the walkthrough here this time to make sure I don't just miss anything, because this is just ridiculous and taking too long. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to see in my life, is that nonsense. It's weird. It's like this castle of people who are demon-worshipping cultists might have been a little messed up. Good job. Oh no, it's... demon-worshipping cultists! I knew it! Oh, go ahead, Lenareth. We can't talk about fun things. What can we talk about? Gross. Just gross. Oh yeah, and as usual, Mundus is trying to merge Hell into Earth in order to take it over because he's evil. He probably has a motivation. I couldn't tell you what it is off the top of my head other than being evil. Thank you, Ross. I'll jot that down for... Chained Echoes. Which I believe that's adding it to the list, so we'll take that appropriately. Yeah, this is great to play through, let me tell you, Rax. Shattered universe all over again. In fact, you know what? I'm just gonna straight up give that a negative, because that is actually nauseating. We have precedence for that. We literally have a precedence for this exact same thing causing this exact same problem in this exact same way. Negative to gameplay. Okay, I think we're done here. So now we should be able to... Oh, God. Okay. We're out of the mirror dimension for the moment. Fourth time now. Although two of those times, well, one of those times is my fault. No, I'm right, two of those times, because I was supposed to get the Stoon first, which I didn't. That complete game. Come on. Okay. Back into the mirror world. Avert ye eyes. In this game, Ifrit and the shotgun, respectively. Why? I think I've shown that off plenty. I have the Philosopher's Stone on me. Let's go. Right? Like I did pick that up, right? Yeah, it's right there. I have the Philosopher's Stone. What's the issue? Do the thing. Yes. Okay. Finally time to go to hell. Yay. Took way too long. B. For what? No, I know the feeling, Linearuth. It's been a long time since Wrath, actually, since I was part of a world-first raiding team, for example. Showdown with Nightmare. So there actually is a very small amount of lore for Nightmare, which I'll tell you about in just a moment. I mean, a D is a passing grade. So you ready for it? Ready for the in-depth... Hang on. Ready for the in-depth, extensive lore behind Nightmare? Oh yeah, gross warning, because obviously hell has to be a bunch of guts for some reason. Pretty much every Devil May Cry game has at least one guts level. They're all gross. And the best part is, none of them serve any real purpose other than, hey look, this is gross. World of Warcraft, Umbral Magnus, which I know isn't literally hell, but it might as well be. Failing that, Diablo 3. Stop exploding so I can get your blood, please. Yeah, we got this. I forget what 2 does, or even if 2 has one. 3 has the Leviathan. 4 has the statue thing. And 5 has the latter half of the game. The stupid tree thing. It's called the Maw, Yura. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. So, the in-depth lore of Nightmare. You ready for this? It was so powerful that it threatened even Mundus. So Mundus had to craft runes to restrain Nightmare's power. Otherwise, Nightmare would consume all of hell. That's it. Whoa. Here's the runes. If you've been paying attention, the runes have been constraining him every time we fought him, actually.
Dante, help me!
Trish!
Oh, and obviously Nightmare is a bioweapon from Resident Evil, but that's not saying much because literally every boss in this game was originally a Resident Evil critter, so that's not saying much. Even Griffin, which is just a frickin' bird. Come on, game. No, Dr. Winter, it's only been the thing I've been bringing up the most this entire time. And the most well-known topic about this game. In fact, I guarantee you there's going to be at least someone in the highlight reel and or the VOD who says, hey, did you know that this game was originally supposed to be Resident Evil 4? 10 to 1. Bet you money. Oh no, she's betrayed us.
You fool! You're so easy.
Trish, you?
Humans. What sweets. You should know better than to trust a stranger. Your presence has become a hindrance to my master's bloody scheme. Now die!
Okay. Thanks for interrupting the boss battle, Trish. I'm kind of busy here. Team, you want to let me actually get up? Oh my god. Nope, 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 nope. Silly game. tell where I was amongst all that nonsense. Oh. Negative to gameplay. Awkward camera, awkward controls, inconsistent hurt box, inconsistent collision. Lots of attacks that you have no dodge button for. Having to target part of the wall while not being capable of actually doing so manually, so just trusting on RNG to successfully do so. All the Nightmare fights suck a little bit, but this one sucks the worst because of just how, ugh, the whole thing is. Anyway, so Trish is dead.
Dante! Dante, why did you save my life?
Because you look like my mother.
Not a great reason.
Now get out of my sight. The next time we meet, it won't be like this.
Dante!
Don't come any closer, you devil! You may look like my mother, but you're nowhere close to her. You have no soul. You have the face, but you'll never have her fire!
Oh, this game.
You two have failed me, Trish. You know the rules.
Uh... Complete global saturation. One of the better songs in the game, by the way. I hate that I have to now alt-tab to mute it, but, you know. Don't worry, I'm sure Dante will never hook up with Trish in the future. That would just be weird. I mean, wouldn't you chase your love into the underworld? Isn't it worth it to have? I can't even finish it. So let me update the HUD here really quick, because if anybody wants to start adjusting their guesses, we're approaching the outro. We are going to have to debate So Bad It's Good, because, duh, but we're arguably not at So Bad It's Good yet. DMC 1's the shortest one by far. DMC 2's padding, so a little bit longer, but otherwise just kind of whatever. I'm pretty sure each successive game will be longer than the previous. Don't quote me on that. So you like gross stuff, right? My strongest memory of this hell stage, other than it being gross, is being stuck here for a long time, and I don't remember why. Although it's better than the board game of 4, am I right? Let me just physics my way down here. I do remember that when I first played this, I really didn't like this stage. So I just kind of wanted it over with as quickly as possible. I know, make fun. Yep. Oh yeah, while we're here. Get a little lower end while we're at it. Why not? Nobody. Their level of intelligence is low, hence their kind wasn't given a name, but their skill to survive is a force to be reckoned with. After all, they have survived this extreme world of survival of the fittest. There's also plasma, which can nuke us, or not nuke us, clone us, excuse me. It started low, but it caught up pretty quickly, so I'm actually okay with the relative thing there. Having said that, I do think the game suffers a little bit of an over-tuning problem. I'm not really showing it off properly, but it's probably related to the fact that all the difficulties in this game are tied to how much damage you do and how much damage you take. Oh yeah, the Death Scythe. They are the evilest, the strongest, and the highest ranking of all the sins. The tornadoes that appear are the spirits in the atmosphere that were forced to comply with evil ways. The tornadoes will suck their prey into the air, taking their freedom to move. How you utilize these tornadoes to your advantage will test your quality as a devil hunter. Use the power of a tornado to your advantage, you should be able to jump to where you want to go. When extreme situations prolong, the death will risk their lives and start to attack fiercely with their 4 blades. Attack and destroy them as quickly as you possibly can. Don't give them any time to hold off their sides. To get a hold of their sides. Their capes are nothing more than illusions created by evil spirits. All physical attacks are useless. Meaningless attacks will only make them a counterattack. Jump higher than the enemy and attack with accuracy from above. So there is a bestiary, but it's only really filled out as you go. I'm not sure how we should qualify this. I'm not even sure if this qualifies as positive. I don't know. What do you guys think? It doesn't help that the worst localization in the game is right here. There's some actual misutilized words. Some of the language is wrong. The sentence structure is terrible. Yeah, like I've seen better bestiaries than this in Mega Man in the collection. So I'm comfortable calling that a wash. It's something I meant to bring up earlier and forgot to. So hang on, we gotta vomit for a second. There's something up here. So this would probably never work, but remember me mentioning a few times like a MechWarrior sports game? If I was tempted to make a spectacle fighter, that's probably the narrative axis of how I do that. You're running around in a bunch of giant mechs in an arena. Have fun with it, you know? I don't think it's working. Really? I know, right, Rex? I'm sure you've noticed that so far the gameplay score is a net negative, and honestly, so far I stand behind that. The game has a strong intro, and it certainly has some good ideas, and as always, I can see why it took off the way it did. The outro is memorable, I agree with that. We're probably going to die the most on the final boss. Like, of all the deaths we've had. We actually only have had a few deaths. We're probably going to die over and over and over on the final boss. So look forward to that. I suddenly like you, Cashel. It's weird! I hated you previously, but now I would die for you. What would you like to put that towards, Cashel? And thank you. What's up? Mission 22, the legendary battle. Yeah, don't pump it up or anything. Go ahead and jot this down first. Oh god, if this game retained this level of quality and was much longer, then it'd be Devil May Cry 2. But anyways, I'll jot down a couple things here while I'm waiting for Cashel to tell me the things, so I don't have to alt-tab in the middle of the boss fight. You got this, Cashel. I believe in you. Believe in you, Cashel. You can do it, Cashel! Nope, he's dead. Cashel's dead. It's over. Alright. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeez. I knew the moment I tabbed back to the game you'd do it. I knew. Done. Yeez 8. Lacrimosa. Thank you, Cashel. Alright. Let's do it. So this is in hell. Got a bit of an opinion of himself, doesn't he?
Again, I must face a Sparta. Strange fate, isn't it?
Strange and ironic that it will end the same way.
Irony has favored you this time. Look, there.
Trish!
Don't even think about it. Blink. She dies.
You!
So sad that humans will always be humans. No more. Has the Sparta blood been spoiled over the ages? Now, die!
Trish!
That is like one of the worst storyboarded cutscenes in this whole game.
No.
Useless scum. Failure is one thing, but taking an odd behavior like that. What is the matter? It is time to end your pitiful life.
How much longer are you going to keep zapping? Come out and show yourself, Mundus!
Well, about 30 seconds passed von Falkenstein.
Why my mother?
That useless being? If you need a mother, I can create it. As many as you want. Just like I created Trish.
Silence!
So who's ready for a sudden genre shift? Yeah, another one. I'm probably going to fail this a few times. What is wrong with your chest, dude? Oh, his handles terribly. You notice how I'm kind of stuttering all over the place? That is the tiniest bit of movement. And the controls are reversed. Not in a good way. They're like double inverted. This is down and this is right. Here, let me show that off. This is down and this is right. So it's not double inverted. I'm saying that wrong. One of them is inverted and one of them is not. So it's like the worst possible thing. Yeah, thank you. The Y is inverted. So it's just extremely disorienting. Oh, at this point, I don't care, Django. Yep, evil dude. We're gonna kill with a rocket launcher, obviously. Yeah, honestly, I don't think people will blame me for this. Now, if 3 or 5 didn't hold up, well, we'd have some words, but I'm not as worried about those games. Suppose we'll see when we get there. I forgot this is what I'm supposed to be doing here. My bad. I have the least opinion about 4, mostly because I only played it the one time. What can I say? I'm tempted to die just to test something, because I'm pretty sure if I die here, I have to do the flying section again. Because, you know, mid-mission checkpoints are for losers. Yet Leviathan is the definition of side quest. Unnecessary side quest. It's like, hey, we've got a tight narrative and some good pacing, we've got this whole thing, and then, oh, okay, let's go do Leviathan level. Why? Well, you know, we were bored. I suppose I should go ahead and chop off the guessing game now. So if you haven't guessed, this is a good time to get your guesses in. As you might imagine, that was not the final boss. I sure hope so, Osorio Ace, if you mean reviewing it. Which will also function as a lore run. But first, I gotta shut up so you can enjoy this nonsense.
My mother risked her life for me. And now you, too. I should have saved you. I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's so bad. It's so bad. I'm gonna give the positive. I'm gonna give the positives. I wasn't sure. I don't like to judge until we're there. Memes don't always hold up. But that's amusing.
Now I'm giving it to you.
It doesn't, Fife. None of the modifiers affect the golden number whatsoever. That's why they're modifiers.
My father's also here now. Rest in peace.
Probably not, Linnea Ruth. Capcom's voice acting at this point in time was, bad. So, let me explain this. Most of the voice acting around this era of Capcom was just bad, so some of it is unintentionally funny. Capcom would then embrace that to make things deliberately cheesy. And that would be later on, like Resident Evil 4, or like the mid-aughts. You know, you fast forward a few years, and they would start embracing the cheese. But here, it was just bad. Yeah, the game is... 1 and 2 are intended to be taken seriously. Exactly, Linnea, great example. 1 and 2, Devil May Cry 1 and 2 are supposed to be taken seriously. And that's why they're funny. 3 finally said, okay, we get it. So like I said, we're not actually done yet, but since we're in between missions here... Well, 3 is actually serious. And 3 does good with the serious parts, if I might be so bold. 3 is more Yakuza, is what I would call that. It's certainly silly, ridiculous, and hammy, but its serious moments hit wonderfully, in my opinion. Alright, so guessing game. That's what I'm locking off right now. Where's the guessing game? The guessing game. There it is. Would it be a negative if they still took it seriously, like in 3? Oh, gosh, I don't know. Yeah, I call it Dragon Quest Effect for a reason, Blade Travel. And then there's the Earthbound series. But anyways, let's rock! Oh, I should do that. Alright, so... Baron, don't you already have an entry in here? You do. Baron, do me a favor. Don't add your name if your name's already in the list. It just creates extra paperwork for me to get rid of it. I'm just going to do that really quick while I'm staring at it. Just get rid of that. There we go. It's alphabetized for a reason. In fact, there's even an entry in red text to remind people not to do that. Okay, so I already stand by what I just said. I am absolutely giving that scene a positive. I wasn't sure I'd find it funny. Like I said, memes don't always hold up upon analysis. But every now and again they do, and that's just awesome. It's always nice when something actually holds up as much as you remember, because holy crap. So I will give a plus to story for that terrible, terrible cutscene, which means the story score is wrong. Hang on. There we go. That's where the story score is right now. Jeez Louise, pay attention more. Unfortunately, now we're going to have to start getting back into a very serious mode. Hang on. Yes, we must engage in the dramas. I mean, they could do a second take, or you know, just run with it. That, and... outro time. Dun 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 dun. That's true. They could get lunch, and honestly, Sabaros sounds really good right now. So you know what, everyone, let's just take 5. I'm going here. Oh, there's a thing there. I couldn't even see it. Why do I have this weapon equipped? God damn it, game. Can I please do something? I'm not sure I could, no. Oh, right, because I left Sparta behind. Great idea, Dante. You are a true genius. Okay. It's time to stop screwing around. Yeah, what's Koei? Hediori, help me out here. Other than a whole bunch of generic RPGs, come on, camera! Barely remember. Jesus. Oh, the Warrior series. I'm not as familiar with those, so I actually can't judge that. My lack of knowledge knows no bounds. I have not, Dr. Winter. On top, please. Just on top, please. There you go. Jesus. So a little bit of a gross warning for the final boss. Just a little bit of one, but it's there. I mean, I think it's gross. Thankfully, it's old PS2 graphics, so it's not that gross. But, you know. I can't remember where the door is. I apparently cannot. Here? No. There it is. Last corner I check. Remember, kids, don't worship demons. Not only will you turn into bugs, but your whole castle will explode the moment some hero shows up and it's like, I don't know why the hero's laughing like that, but he's just having a good time, you know? I like how I disappeared from the cutscene I'm standing right next to. So, final boss time. Low resolution imagery.
Has been opened. Dante, you are not getting away. This is where you will die.
I'm not going anywhere. Besides, there's no place to go. Look around. This will be your burial ground as well.
So, you know how in the Bayonetta series all the angels look like mechanical monstrosities with goopy organic insides? I should mention that the director of that game is the same director as this game. No reason, I just thought I'd mention it. So this is actually a Doom Wall fight, or what do they call those, from Final Fantasy. If he gets you to the edge, he kills you.
No.
You'll be okay. You can do it.
What? Mother.
Dante, use my power!
Demon Wall, that's it. Appropriately.
Okay.
Hey!
It looks like we have a winner.
Jackpot.
He will not. He will not.
Goodbye. And when you do come back, give my regards to my son, will ya?
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, this is the death of Mundus right here. Which I think was the right move, by the way.
Trish.
Oh, my beloved mother?
Dante,
You brought the sword back, right?
Trish. Devils never cry.
Hey, roll credits.
Tears are a gift only humans have.
we're too late.
Don't even ask. Don't even. Look, I'm sorry. If there was a woman who looked exactly like my mother who wanted to romance me, no. So, you remember that plane?
And we humans never give up.
Are you ready?
You thought I was pointing it out for no reason. Oh yeah, sorry, your dead mother. I mean, she's in heaven, but whatever. Yeah, it's intact, fueled up, has ammo in the barrel. Okay, so real talk, I've died here a lot. Like, a lot. Probably because, well, look at it. Also, if you're paying attention, yes, Resident Evil 4 did this exact same thing! Although in that case it was a jet ski instead of a biplane, but, you know, escaping an exploding island, last second, with the woman on your back. Yeah, there's no real reacting. Your reaction speed is just too slow. You kind of have to memorize it. Notice this is a very cloudy sky. Just pointing out that the art director and the dialogue were not coordinating with each other.
The world's evil is still alive. They will someday return.
There's no need to worry, right? Because the world has the legendary Dark Knight Dante and his sidekick.
How much fuel does that plane have?
Devil never cry. Yes. Okay, great. Where's the place? We'll be right there. This one has the password. Sounds heavy.
Okay, let's get it over with in 10 minutes. Can't let a single one of those suckers live.
5 minutes.
More than enough.
Also, notice what she's wielding there. Anyways, the end. Yeah, I don't think they ever reference Devil Never Cry Again. I could be wrong about that. Yeah, so you remember how we mentioned earlier that the outro is memorable? Like, the intro is good, and the outro is memorable. So this is neat and all, but I got paperwork to do. Here, let me get you some DMC music. Where's my boss playlist? There it is. Most of the DMC stuff I have is all under boss, like this. Or this. Or this. I think we all know the real DMC music you're listening for. That's what I'm thinking, Blade of All. Actually, I don't, Rex. I need to get the DMC 5 soundtrack one of these days. Very good. I was wondering if anybody would spot this is from 4. I mean, it's a good fire axe. Funnily enough, I can point to the exact moment I fell in love with the series too. I'll spoil this for you. It's in 3. I'm not going to tell you the moment. Probably a few people, Dr. Winter. Now, I don't blame you on that, Baron. Not at all. Alright, so I should have a copy of the audit sheet. Right here. Perfect. I mean, I could see that happening, Alex. So we're going to do a little bit of a test. We're going to play a song that has lyrics, specifically because I want to see if this VOD gets copyright flagged. Because this isn't going to show up until later games, but blah, 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 blah. I'm testing the waters, right? So... also from 4. But if we're going to have issues, it's probably going to start showing up around 4. That's why I'm going this way with it. I actually like this song, but then again, I like a lot of these songs, so that's whatever. It has Lunaruth, but not necessarily. There have been times where that's happened, let's put it that way. I'll know by the end of today, okay? Yeah, I was actually thinking specifically a Smooth McGroove. As far as doing your own take on a song. I've also seen people hit by that who are doing music tutorials. Like, imagine if Linnea Ruth did a video where she was just telling how to learn a specific chord and played a couple chords from a song. That kind of stuff has gotten copyright flagged. Because of course it has. Yeah, he's fallen off the map, I noticed, Valvedrix. I'm not sure why, but I hope he's okay. I saw him do a video about I'm trying to make changes in my life some time ago. So, maybe that's related? I mean, I actually know quite a few YouTubers who, at this point in time, have completely walked away from YouTube. Because of how awful it is to work on YouTube. Hell, I'm making the last few steps of walking away from YouTube myself, so I understand that as well. Of course I upload to YouTube. I uploaded to YouTube yesterday. I'll upload to YouTube today. But I'm not a YouTuber. I haven't been for a while. Not really, okay. I haven't seen anything that's even caught my eye so far. And I'm running out of music, so what else we got here? Any DMC3 music? No. Oh no, that's DMC3. But that's not a great song. What I actually want is this one. No, I have successfully walked away, Lunar. I am currently at the step of having walked away. So I'm doing the boring part here. Nobody tells you how much paperwork is involved in doing this kind of thing. At least if you want to do it right. Not that I mind. I just worry I get boring when I'm doing these little paperworky sections. So I talk nervously about random things to try and keep you guys engaged. And try to play music that's actually worth a damn. And usually relevant. That way you're distracted from how extremely boring I'm being right now. Yeah, I'm doing the audit as we speak. Yeah, I don't mind doing paperwork, really, but I am a very boring person, so that probably is why. Because I'm not at that step yet, Act. Although, part of the reason is because it was just dragging things down. Like, if you were paying attention, which I don't blame you if you weren't, I started going through it quickly because so many of them just don't apply. Then I just started going, which I do nowadays. Usually what'll happen nowadays, and again, if you pay attention, you'll notice this, I will specifically bring up a category if I think it needs to be workshopped. For example, replayability. That comes up a lot. Good news, we're net positive on bosses. Woo! It's actually, honestly, a lot of the positives for this game were for boss design. Go figure. Okay. So now that we've got all the existing points in, let's go ahead and go through. Let's see what we got, shall we? I do need to do one other thing, though. Don't let me forget. In fact, I'll just do it now. Gotta skip through this really quick. So you're probably wondering, why are we getting orbs after having beaten the game? There's our score. Not super great, but that's fine. Didn't get any of the secret missions. Yes, I'd like to save.
Devil May Cry.
So notice we are right back here. But if you're paying attention, we have a couple of other things that we didn't have last time. Now, I have seen much better New Game Pluses than this. Especially than the first game, which if you'll notice just straight up dumped us right back into it. But this is still a New Game Plus, and it still deserves the positive for it. I just wanted to make absolutely sure that, you know, it's still a thing. And it is still a thing. Yeah, that's why this is definitely only one positive, because... Here, let me just show this off. Well, it's going to take a minute, isn't it? And there's no mission select, which would be awesome in a game like this. Oh, I agree, CapDoc. It's one of the positives I actually already gave. Yeah, so... I will give A+ to gameplay. For a bit of a bare bones, but a nevertheless extant New Game Plus. Just wanted to do my due diligence and double check. Okay. We do, and it does improve our devil trigger number. Alright, so... Story. Oh yeah, man, just this has the best story, the best atmosphere. Everything's amazing. The best camera work for story, specifically. Some of the best cutscenes in the universe. No, I don't remember her name. Will be playable in 2. We'll talk about that. Obviously, that doesn't apply. That doesn't apply. Best voice acting ever. Obviously. Ugh, I literally can't even remember her damn name. For the record, no, I'm not playing 2 twice. Although, again, I have a bit of a story to tell about that when we get there. I'm going to give the localization a wash, mostly because, well, it's not good, it's not terrible, and I've seen worse. Most of it's in the bestiary, as we already talked about. Outro sucked, pacing sucked, plot sucked, voice acting sucked. Themes! Humans are superior is actually the theme of this game. I'm not joking. It's okay, that's the theme of all of these games. Please, for the sake of my research. Done, Alex. I want to give a negative for either the writing or the dialogue. What do you think? I don't think I'm going to be mean and pile on 2 negatives. Mostly because there's just not that much dialogue in this game. But the writing's not good and the dialogue's not good. Do you think we should put that under writing or dialogue, though? This is one of the 2. We're definitely not doing both. Voice direction is already a negative. Completely separate from that. Localization I just talked about, which proves that Baron is not only not listening to me, but he doesn't listen to me from 30 seconds ago. Thank you for reminding me. Good delivery usually can help a lot, yes. Like, I've seen good actors take terrible lines and do something with them. But in those cases, I would still probably give the negative. I'd just give it and then also give the positive. I think I agree. There's just generally writing issues in this game. Nope, change my mind. I suppose that would depend on what that means, Act. So, with that little question mark out of the way, that gives us our final story score of -3. On to gameplay. Meanwhile, I hear everyone on the VOD and the just everyone's like, oh yeah, no, it's okay. The gameplay will salvage this. I mean, I'm pretty pro-human, Act, but I'm not sure I would call myself a human supremacist. Probably because there's a lot of baggage associated with that word. But if I had to choose between, you know, saving a puppy or saving a person, I'm going to pick the person because they're a person. Devil May Cry 1, I should save that for the actual outro. Hang on. Already talked about that, already talked about that, already talked about that. There are none of that. That's terrible. There's no co-op. If I have to decide between a plant and a person... No, yep, definitely still going with the person. No, yep. Commit. See, I wasn't Spartan. All joking aside, I am pro-human. I am unabashedly and unashamedly pro-human. People matter. What do you want from me? I've actually had to make that decision too, Space Cadet. It wasn't a dog in my case, but still. I hit the animal. And I did it without hesitation. Still sucks. The goal is, of course, to not hurt anybody. But when you put two up against each other, trolley problem. There's a puppy on one side of the tracks and a person on the other side of the tracks. Where do you send the trolley? And yeah, I know that the trolley problem is stupid, but still. Enemy variety. Then it's a person, Linaru, and not a plat. This is tied in with enemy design while we're on the point here. Yeah, that's how you defeat hypothetical questions. Poke them until they get irritated with it. Well, at that point, that's just the trolley problem traditional eliminator. There's no preference, so there's no answer to that. Flip a coin. I don't know. I've had plant cookies before. Actually, I haven't, because I'm deathly allergic, but the joke's still there, so I've had plant cookies before, man. They're just not gonna go great. I'm just so unimpressed with the enemy design in this game. That's why I haven't jotted down a positive for it yet. Let me look at other games we've already done this for. I don't know what the terminology is. You kids and your drugs. I don't know what you call it nowadays. Go do your drugs over there. Behind closed doors where it belongs. Looks like I gave a plus there. I will acquiesce. I will give one positive. Just the one for enemy design. Damn it, Spartan! You should be shamed! Shamed for doing whatever it is you're doing. Shame! Someone get the oh god, what's that? The Rock of Shame? Yeah. Someone get the Rock of Shame. You know, I like that episode, but the scene where the plumber is like, well, it might take me a few more weeks to get to. Now I'm going to need a part. And he shows him the sign. He's like, oh, and he fixes it in 3 seconds. That is way too real. Here's one for you. We already mentioned replayability. What about viscerality? How do we feel on that? I admit it's actually pretty low for me in this one. Most of the attacks don't feel like they hit well. There's no real sound design to them, so it's pretty much all on the visual. And the visuals are murky and muddy and not that great. And I'm totally cool with just giving a wash to viscerality, to be completely blunt, which sounds weird, but, you know, there it is. Not going to give that negative I thought to. There was a lot of viscera in the final boss. I'm going to give one walkthroughitis negative. I actually ran into less issues than I thought I would. All right, I believe that's everything then, which gives us a net gameplay score of -5. Let's do some math. No, feel free to start getting your drum rolls early, because I do this a little differently nowadays. Smooth it out. Although I guess that doesn't matter today, but whatever. So, for the highlight reel, some of you may notice the last couple of highlight reels, or maybe just the last one, didn't actually have the graphic up. This one won't either, nor will the next couple. It's a long story. I don't feel like getting into it. We'll get back to it. The graphics with the comparison sheet will come back once that's fixed. So, having said all that, I'm just going to give you a bit of a rundown. Story, -3. That's 0.41 negatives per hour density and a 36.36% ratio. Not good. But that's okay, because the gameplay, -5. That is a density of -0.68. And that is a gameplay ratio of 42.42%. That's not great, and that's more or less exactly what I was expecting. Our final golden number is... That can't be right. No, that is right. Hang on. Let me check something really quick here. Double checking. You're the one. No, yeah, that is correct. I agree with that sentence. Wow. Yeah, okay. Giving us a final golden number of -20.59. That's not good. As I've said many times, any negative is bad. That's pretty bad. And that actually puts this game below Just Cause 4 for a bit of direct comparison, which, for the record, I completely stand behind. Now, you might think, Lord, but... First of all, this is a first game. All first games tend to not do great, right? We know that. That's a common thing. It's a common trend. We know how that works. Second of all, honestly, this game's really rough, and this follows a very typical progression for a lot of games in this era, but also in general. It starts off strong, and it basically never stops getting worse all the way through. And yeah, some of the stages drag, some of the stages are too short. The story is all over the place. Sometimes the boss battles are fantastic, sometimes they're terrible. It really is a mixed bag. It makes so much sense with all the stuff I've already shared about the behind the scenes, why this game plays that way. It also makes so much sense why people loved it. This was sand. And on the off chance you've never heard me use that phrase, it's actually, I borrow it from my friend Gary because it's so applicable. Sand, we drank sand because we didn't know what water was. That's Devil May Cry 1. We didn't know what this kind of game could be yet. We didn't know where this genre would go. But here it is, and it's like, oh wow, this is cool. This is some neat ideas. It's so obvious why this took off the way it did, why it sold so well, why they were willing to greenlit a sequel before the game even came out. Because everybody could look at this and say, yeah, no, this is going to be legit. And considering how much I am very fond of 3 of the 6 games in the DMC series, I stand behind that. Yeah, Civilization is pretty much the exact same thing. That's a great comparison. Have you ever played Civilization 1? That game has a lot of potential and arguably started the 4X genre. But Civ 1 sucks. So, so that's Devil May Cry 1. Now, for the highlight reel, I'm going to go ahead and be like, now we're going to do the guessing game because I kind of screwed up my order there. But, so, where is the guessing game? I've got it somewhere. I've got so many screens up right now. You know what? Here, I'm just going to make this easy. I'm just going to use my own thing to pull this up. Hey, okay, so -20.59. Mm-hmm. And yes, it is Blade Travell. Do you know why? Can you guess why? Although, actually, do you have an example of a game like that? Oh, I guess it scored worse than Fallout 1. But that makes sense, because Fallout 1 had positives. It scored better than... Hang on. I'm trying to find something else. Just Cause 4, ironically. But Just Cause 4 was stretched out and actually did several things better on the gameplay axis. So that checks out. So, yeah, no, I do actually stand behind that pretty firmly. -20.59 is correct. I can triple check, because I did a double check when the result popped up. Nope, yep. Stand by it. So, because you have to remember, the shortness doesn't matter, but density matters. A game that's 3 hours long and is really terrible is a worse game than a game that is 20 hours long and arguably has more negatives. Why? Because the density is so much higher. So, yeah, no, I am 100% okay with that. The ratios are awful, the density is awful, and the score is awful. So, yeah, no, I completely stand by my own statement. Now, if you want, I will double-check Lufia 1 to make sure that score is correct, at negative 17.28. Lufia 1, however, had a positive score on the story axis, which obviously matters, and a better story ratio while we're on the subject. Also, the density is much, much better overall. Let's see, what else we got here? Bard's Tale. Let's go and go up to Bard's Tale. If I could find it. Is it under the? It's under the. Of course it is. Hang on. The Bard's Tale. There it is. So again, positive to story. And negative there. Huge density, 71% ratio, 2.7% ratio at negative 15.1. Yep, nope. Continue to stand by it. This game was worse than the Bard's Tale. I agree with that sentence. So anyways, what am I doing? Yes, I am, Alex. Right. I'm figuring out who has what and where. So, negative 20. Rax looks like wins this like a shoo-in. Jesus Christ, Rax. Rax guessed negative 20. It's negative 20.59. I'll put that as well towards Andor. Jesus, dude. All right. So I'm going to go do a little bit of paperwork, as I tend to. We are going to start Devil May Cry 2 today. Weep and despair. Feel free to get in your guesses now for Devil May Cry 2. It'll be worse. But how much worse will it be? Where will Devil May Cry 2 here? Let me give you some numbers, just so you can get a bit of perspective here. So, at the bottom of the barrel, we've got Secret of the Stars, Mega Man X7, Quest 64, Shattered Universe, Wolfenstein Youngblood, and Drakengard. All of those are Drek territory. So, and I should also probably mention 3 of those are well ahead of the others. That would be Quest 64, Mega Man X7, and Secret of the Stars. Those are in the negative 50 range, and Secret of Stars is almost at negative 60. So, X7 was negative 50.46 at the moment. That's probably going to change. But, we'll see. Whenever I'm done with, getting all the paperwork done. So, goodbye!